Just gonna throw somebody.
Yoga master. And like always, take a couple minutes now to do something nice and light or something easy that feels it gets you ready for your practice. One more minute. All right, folks, let's come up to our feet. Bring our hands to prayer. Begin our little ritual with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Have a great practice. Now take the hands to the side of the body. Feet can be joined through the big toes or a little space between the ankles. You want to push down into the floor to engage your leg muscles, engage your quad, lift up your kneecaps. Call that the foundation. Every time our leg is straight in yoga, it's the same action in the quad muscle. Now come up just above your legs and find that first neutral pelvis. So you bring your pelvis from an anterior tilt more to a posterior tilt. The movement would be bringing your belly button in, or if your awareness is at the back, your sacrum and the tailbone would move slightly down in space. Now stack the rib cage on top of the pelvis by bringing the front ribs in. Chin would be parallel to the floor. You're looking straight forward. First of 5, sun salutation A. Staying active in your legs. Inhale, lift up through the arms. Staying strong in your legs, exhale, fold down, hands to the floor. Same action in your legs. Inhale, lifts the chest and the chin up to a long spine position, and put your hands down. Exhale your feet back, bend your elbows, and come all the way down onto the floor. Point the toes back, press into the hands. Inhale, lift the shoulders up above your wrist bones. Curl your toes under. Exhale, fold at the hip as you lift your hips towards the ceiling. Holding for that first count of 5. Waking up that Ujjayi breath that we breathe. Ujjayi means powerful or victorious. It's a breath that you breathe only through your nose. And by stretching out the breath, you'll hear the sound that comes along with it. And then you want to amplify the volume of the sound, make it louder. So that's literally beyond my voice. The only thing you hear is the air going in and the air going out. Now let's go back to moving. Bend your knees. Look to the hands. Inhale, step or jump between the hands. Come halfway up to that long spine. Exhale, fold down into the legs. Push into the floor. To inhale, rise back up. Raise the arms, belly tucked up and in. Exhale, release the arms to the side of the body. Number 2 is just like that. Inhale, lift the arms, staying heavy in the legs. Exhale, folding down the connection in your legs. It's the legs that inhale, lift the spine up, long position. And use the hands to exhale the feet back, lower with that neutral pelvis. Reset the feet. Inhale, lift just the upper body, head and shoulders. And then exhale, lower the head as you lift the hips. Reset the feet, and then open them just a little wider than your Samasthiti. So without looking at the hands, spread the fingers. Stretch the hand across the floor. Without looking at the hands, do these actions. Meaning look back between your legs. Let the head hang loose. Occupy the floor with the hand, meaning stretch the hand in the palm so much it starts to occupy more of your mat than it did before. Now go up your arms and put a micro bend in the elbow, less than a degree, so you're not hyperextending that hinge joint. Now keep that, bend your knees. Inhale to come back to the feet, lift up through the chest and chin. Strong legs, exhale, fold down, let the head hang loose. Inhale, when you lift up, follow that neutral pelvis, bring the hands together. And exhale, release the arms, Samasthiti. Let's do 3 more like that. With more sound, inhale, lift through the arms. More sound, exhale, fold down the front of the legs. A smooth inhale lifts through the chest and the chin. A smooth exhale lowers you into that low plank or lower to the floor. Inhale, hear the sound when you lift. Exhale, hear the sound as you fold back. Now, as you listen to the sound, notice where in your upper body the sensations are being created the most. So we're trying to breathe from the very center of the body out in all directions. Most of us simply feel the inhale in the chest, but your lungs will occupy as much of the back of the body as they do the front body. So breathe into that no man's land, that area in the back just below the shoulder blades, just above the kidneys. Feel the ribs lift up into your shirt, and then feel your back contract and get smaller. Now, following those sensations, bend your knees. Inhale, step or jump forward, and then lift the chin. Strong legs with sound. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, you rise up with that neutral pelvis. Exhale, keeping the neutral pelvis with the arms to the side. Again, inhale, lift through the arms without lifting those front ribs. Exhale, fold the rib cage down the thighs. Then inhale, lift up away from your thighs. Hands become the foundation. Exhale, feet back and lower down, neutral pelvis. Spread the fingers. Inhale, shoulders lift on top of the wrist bones. Exhale, head down, hips up, and breathe. Breathe with sound. Breathe that creates sensations. Breathe so it keeps your awareness focused on the space that is your body. Let's take 3. And 2. And 1. You get ready to move by bending the knees. You look forward. Inhale to the feet to lift the chin. Strong legs. Exhale, fold down. Head hangs loose. Inhale, rise up, pulling the belly button towards the spine. Exhale, release the arms. Last one. Inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, lower the hands to the floor along the sides of the toes. Inhale, little lift up in space. Plant palms. Exhale, jump back, lower down in space. Inhale, lift up in space. Exhale, pressing back in space. Making these the slowest, deepest, powerfulest breaths of your practice. Say 3. You're just breathing at your own pace. And 2. 1, you get ready to move. It's the inhale that brings you to the feet to lift the chin. The exhale folds you down into your legs. Inhale, you lift up from the legs, bringing the hands together above the head. And exhale, release the arms. 3, Surya Namaskara B. Bend the knees like you're going to touch the floor. And inhale up through the arms. Exhale down into your straight and active legs. Inhale, that lengthen from tailbone through crown of head. Hands down, exhale, jump back, lower, set the neutral pelvis. Then inhale up into your back bend. Exhale, fold at the hips. Turn the left foot out and step your right foot forward. Inhale, bring the palms together, look at your thumbs. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank, lower with neutral pelvis. Reset. Inhale up, exhale back. Pivot your right foot, step into your left side, and inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. 1 exhale into low plank. Reset neutral pelvis. Inhale up, exhale back. Now stay. For 5. Notice how the body is warming through the movements and through the breath. 4. It's the movement and the breath that's warming you from the inside out, warming up your blood. And then as we move into these very gentle positions, we're moving that warmer blood into the depths of the hips, into the depths of the shoulders. The deeper into the hips and the shoulders, there's less capillaries in there. So to literally open up the shoulders and the hips, we're creating that internal temperature, allowing the heat to moisten, just like the hot water helps to wash the dishes. Bend your knees, back to moving. Inhale, step, jump forward, lift through the chin. Exhale, fold into your legs. Utkatasana, bend the knees, inhale, hands up. Exhale, stand and release. 2 more. Bend the knees, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Plant palms, exhale to jump, lower. Spread the fingers. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, lift your hips. Turn your left foot out, step your right foot forward. Inhale. Exhale on the way down. 2 hands, 2 feet supports the spine to lower. Inhale. And exhale. Do the other side. Pivot right. Left foot steps. Inhale. Exhale all the way down with neutral pelvis. Reset. Inhale up. Exhale back. Now stay. For 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Bend the knees. Next, inhale, jump or step, lift through the chin, engage your legs. Exhale, fold down. Now lower the hips as you inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, stand and release. Last one, do it all by yourself. Every movement up is inhale with knees bent. Every movement down with the head, it's an exhale. You literally almost cannot get it wrong. making your way back to Samasthiti. The same movements that brought you in are the same movements that bring you out. The first two forward bends. So inhale, separate your feet just like you would in downward dog. You're still facing the front of your mat. Separate your feet just like your downward dog. Take an inhale. Fold down low enough you can grab your big toes. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen from tailbone to crown of head. And then exhale, you're folding your belly to the top of your thighs. You're lengthening your chest down past your knees. Your head that is hanging loose from the shoulders is coming closer to the tops of your feet. And since your legs are straight, your quadricep muscle is still active. You're pushing your thigh bone into the back of your thigh, and you feel a gentle space being created at the back of the legs. All the while, you are breathing that same breath. That breath that you can hear. That breath that is expanding you from the inside out. Second set. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest up. Exhale there. Inhale, put your hands under your feet from the front. Toes touch the wrist. Exhale, fold back down. Second set, Pada Hastasana. Same actions. It's the same position. All we just did was change where the hand is on the foot. Every time we hold a different position on the foot, it has a different effect up on the pelvic floor. Move away your awareness from the stretch and ask yourself, what else is going on here besides the stretch? Inhale, lift up your chin. Exhale, remove your hands from your feet. Inhale, come up, standing position. And exhale your feet back to the way you had them when we started, Samasthiti. Now turn 90 degrees to your right. Open your feet the length of one of your legs. Take your arms up parallel to the floor. Right foot is going to turn to the back of your mat. You got your left foot pointing at the side of the mat. Now take an inhale with that neutral pelvis, and then exhale, reach over that right leg, and lower the right hand down towards your right foot. Your top arm reaches up to the ceiling. So one arm points straight down, one arm pointing straight up. Both legs are straight, and you're looking up at your top thumb. Uttita Trikonasana for one. Make sure the back leg is working just as much as your front leg. For two, the navel, your belly button, is still moving in towards the spine. Three, it's the use of your legs that's creating that length and space along the sides of your rib cages. Four, you are hearing the sound of your breath. And five, it's that next inhale that brings you up, arms parallel to the floor. Turn your right foot to the right side, your left foot to the front. Then exhale, reach forward with the left arm. When you can't then go any more forward, then lower the arm straight down. Raise the top arm straight up, and then take your gaze up. For one, that front knee loves to hyperextend in this position, so just unlock the knee. For two, then use the front leg to put more weight into your back heel. For three, hearing the smooth sound of your breath. Four. Five, that next inhale brings you up. Left arm up, right arm down. Turn all the way around and face the back edge of your mat with the two frontal hip bones. And from there, exhale, take a forward bend down with your left hand. Lift your right shoulder. Extend up your right arm this time. The twist, Parvarita Trikonasana for one. Same concepts as your regular of triangle. We want to unlock the front knee, ground the back heel, and provide the stability in the legs so that we can appropriately twist the spine with the use of the arms. Take one more deep inhale. Look down, exhale. Lift up, inhale. You would then have your right arm up, your left arm down. You turn all the way around to face the front of the mat. Exhale, take the right hand down to the floor. Inhale, raise the left side. Gaze up to the top thumb for 1. Relax the jaw and the face for 2. Put a hint of a smile for 3. Relax the neck. If it's too much to look at the hand above, just look at the side wall for 4. Put more weight in the back heel so that you can exhale and look down. You got your balance. Now inhale, lift up. Exhale, feet together. Let's do the same pair, but by bending the front knee now. So turn to the right. Take a wider step with the feet. Raise the arms. Right foot to the back. You're going to bend the right knee. And you lower your right arm to the right side of your right leg. You reach your top arm into a straight line. So you're making a straight line with the whole left edge of the body. The bottom arm is on the outside of your bottom leg. There you go. Now turn your left hand so it faces the floor. And point the left arm on the same angle that you feel your back leg is coming off the ground. So in a way, you're making a straight line from your left ankle, left knee, left hip, left shoulder, left elbow, left hand. Extended side angle position. Perfect. Let's do the other side. Inhale, lift out of the right side. Turn your right foot to the right side. Turn your left foot to the front. Bend your left knee. Left arm, left side of left leg. Now extend the right side for 1. Utthita, which means extended. Parsva Konasana. Parsva means side. Kona means angle. You are doing your extended side angle pose. 3, 4, 5. Now let's do the twist of this. Inhale, come up. Take your left arm up, right arm down. Turn, you got it. Turn to face the back of your mat. Bend the right knee. Now exhale, take the back of your left arm to the far outside of your right knee. Put your hands in a prayer position for the variation, unless, of course, the bottom hand can reach the floor. And if you take that variation, you extend your top arm just like you did before. You didn't reach it to the ceiling, you reached it out on an angle. There you go. This is just the twisted variation of the position before, so the top arm is the same. We're already at 3. And 4. And 5. Use your next inhale to lift up. Exhale, turn to face the front. You would have your right arm up, bend the left knee, exhale the back of your right arm, far outer edge of the left side. For 1. Parvarita, revolved or twisted Parsva Konasana. 2. Falling over is just a sign that you're trying. I like it. 3. We fall over, we get back up, we do it again. 4. 5. Next inhale, lift up by straightening your legs. Exhale, big toes together. Same space between the feet. Inhale, step to the right again. Exhale, forward bend down, hands to the floor. Inhale, chest and chin are up. Exhale, head to floor, and you walk the palm underneath your elbow. So a straight line from the elbow down to the wrist, and you're pressing your hands into the floor in a way that helps the spine lengthen down in space. for 1. Your legs are still straight, so your quadricep muscle is still active, for 2. And the feet are just slightly in versus slightly out, for 3. In other words, the center of the back of the heel would be lined up behind maybe your second or third toe, for 4. Take 1 more breath. On your next inhale, you lift up through the chin. You exhale there, put the hands on the hips, and inhale, come up. Exhale once you're there. Arms, inhale, extend out. Hands, exhale to the hips. Inhale, our second variation, standing tall. And then exhale, fold right back down, keeping the hands right where you have them, for 1. Still trying to take the head to the floor. Same action in your legs, but now the hands are different, for 2. Shoulders are moving more towards your hips than towards your ears, for 3. It means your back muscles are active. The muscles under your armpits are active. And even the hands are pressing into the hips, for 4. Take 1 more breath. And on your next inhale, come all the way up in 1 lift. Exhale once you're there. Arms, inhale out. Hands, exhale behind the hips this time. Little shoulder opener. Arms are straight. Inhale. Exhale, forward bend down, head to the floor. And reach those hands away from the back as if they too, one of these days, will come down to the floor like your head. Let's count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your next inhale, come all the way up in 1 lift. Exhale, put your hands on the hips. We got 1 more. Take an inhale there. Hands are on the hips still. Take an inhale there. And then exhale, forward bend back down and grab the big toes. Inhale, bend the elbows up to the ceiling. And exhale, descend the head down to the floor. So this variation is very much like the first variation. When you had the palms on the floor, you were using your arms and your shoulders to help the head come down into the floor. So in this variation, elbows are moving up to the ceiling. Shoulders are moving up towards the hips versus the earlobes. It's all the same stuff in all the same positions. It's all the same concepts. Let's go back to moving with your breath. Inhale, come halfway up with the chin. Exhale, release your big toes. Inhale, come up. Exhale, turn to the front. Big toes together, Samasthiti. Now, before you move your feet, take your hands back into your reverse prayer position. Wiggle the fingers up the spine and move your elbows towards the wall behind you to open your chest. Now, step your right foot back, turn to the right side, and turn all the way around to face the back of the mat. Square the hips to the back, and then exhale, take the forward bend and lower down through the hips. You're gonna reach the top of your head to the top of your right foot, but you're gonna use your right leg in a way that moves your bum back into the back leg. So move your hips towards the front of your mat and then reach your head towards your right big toe. All the while, you are purposely trying to breathe into the area of the back where you feel your pinky fingers. Now press into the floor, inhale, lift up from the right side. Exhale, turn to the right side, turn to face the front, and then lower right back down into your second side of Parsvottanasana for 4. It's going to be a last standing pose. We're going to go to the floor sequence after this. In 3, in 2, And 1, you press down to inhale, come up. Now release the hands from the back body. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now we do a Surya Namaskara, sun salutation to your downward dog. Inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, forward bend down the front of the thighs. Inhale, take that little lift up. Plant palms, exhale, jump back into that neutral pelvis position. Inhale, keep space in the lower back when you lift. Exhale, downward dog. Now look at your hands. Inhale, jump your big toes together between the hands and sit down onto the back of your heels. So your feet are together, the thighs are together, and organically speaking, this is one of the very few positions that starts on the other side. So you're going to take the back of your right arm and put it on the outside of your left knee. Once the arm is there, put your hands into a prayer position, palm to palm. So put the back of your right elbow on the outer edge of the left knee. Separate the elbows, palm to palm. Now, when you press palm to palm and elbow to knee, what turns is the angle of your upper body. You're turning your left armpit to the wall behind you. All the while that your hips and your legs and your feet are symmetrically still doing the same thing. Pose is called Pashasana. Let's take 3 and 2 and 1. On your next inhale, look to the front. Exhale, release your twist. Now put the right hand behind you for balance. Put the right hand on the floor. There you go. Take the left arm now to the outside of the right knee. When you got the balance, now bring the hands into each other. Press palm to palm. Gaze back off of that right elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look forward, inhale. Release, twist, exhale. Here, you're perfectly set up to do a Bakasana crow, or just do a regular jump out and take a vinyasa flow. How long you want to hold your crow? Up to you. We will do one more set of Bakasana just a little bit later on in this seated sequence. After this vinyasa flow, you'll return to a seated position. Now, let's bend the right leg in half, put the top of the right foot on the floor, and point the right toes to the wall behind us. So you've got your right, there you go. Let's do both variations, starting with the one from primary, and then we'll do the one that's here in the intermediate. So first, inhale, bring your hands forward to the floor, or hold the inner foot and the outer foot, and exhale, fold forward in space. Keeping your chest, your sternum, down the space between the two knees. In other words, that bent right leg likes to kind of push you over on top of the straight leg. Stay centered between the two legs. Option is to stay right where you are for a second count of 5, or inhale, sit up nice and tall. Sit all the way up nice and tall. You're then going to bend your left leg. You're going to take the inner foot and the outer foot, and then you're going to start to extend your left leg up at about 45 degrees. You want to hold the heel and point your left foot like a gymnast would point her toes. Let me count down. 5. Same breath, same sound. 4. 3. 2. And 1. That leg in the air. Exhale, lower it down to the floor. Put your hands beside your knees. Step, jump back to plank position. Move through the flow. Jump back, inhale to seated position, and exhale. Let's take the left side. So close the left knee, lean a little bit over to the right side so you can take your left leg in. Inhale, hands forward to the floor or to the foot. Exhale. Keeping the legs with that inward rotation. That's what's keeping the knees moving towards each other versus that left knee kind of floating out away from the midline. Now that second set, either stay where you are or first sit up. Bend the straight leg, take the foot, inhale, extend it out, point through the toes so you start to feel a little bit of a stretch also at the top of the foot. For 4. 3. 2. 1. Leg, exhale, comes down. Hands beside the knees. Just step back to plank or drag the legs underneath you back to plank. There you go. Next few positions are going to be done on your belly. So from downward dog, inhale forward to push-up position. Find the neutral pelvis and exhale, slowly lower onto the mat. All the way down. You got it. Now put your hands at your hips with your arms straight. You got it. Straight arms, hands at the hips. You got your palm turned up. The back of the hand presses down. Now let's go through the foundation first. We inner rotate the legs. So join the big toes and then rotate the legs so the heels move out away from each other. Keep that action in your legs. Now come up into the pelvis. Find the neutral pelvis by lifting your belly button off of your mat. And come into the upper body. We're going to start to press the hands down. Inhale, lift up the face and the chest and the shoulders. Keeping that rotation in your legs, start to lift the tops of the feet, the kneecaps and the thighs. Notice when your legs start to lift, the heels like to pull in towards each other. It is your job to keep rotating the heels away from each other, the higher the feet lift. Now stay up. Now bring the hands onto the floor halfway between your armpit and your hip. Press into the palm and push yourself forward. Not up. Up is towards the ceiling. Push forward. There you go. There's no place to go forward, but that's the action of your arms. Your head is still up. Your chest is still up. Feet is still up. Everything is still up. We've just changed the action of the arms. Draw the elbows back. Take 3. Take 2. And 1. Exhale, press the feet into the floor. Move your hands slightly forward. Move your hands slightly forward. There you go. Inhale, take your flow and return to this exact same position. Good. Now we come into Sphinx pose. We're going to make our 2 arms 90 degrees. So you bring your elbows onto the floor below the shoulders. Your hands would be straight in front of the elbows. So come up a little higher. There you go. So from the side perspective, 2 arms are 90-degree angle. Come up onto the elbows. Elbows are up on the ground below the shoulders. Keep coming them, draw them in, draw them in. There they go. So your upper body is in a little back bend, supported by the arms. Your legs are still in that inward rotation. Now from here, we're going to do, this is the entry point into the next position, what we're about to do, and we're going to do 1 leg at a time. So bend the right leg so that your right heel comes closer to your right hip. Reach back with just the right arm. Grab the inside of your right foot with your right hand. Pull your right foot down to the outside of your right hip And then try to turn the angle of your fist so the knuckles face forward. That's right. You got to pivot the hand on the top of the foot. Bikasana, a single-legged variation of your frog pose. We're already at 3. We're at 2. And 1. Now exhale, come back to that symmetrical Sphinx position in which your arms and legs are symmetrically doing the exact same thing. Once you've found that place, bend your left knee. Reach back with your left arm. Take the inner foot, descend the foot down, and try to pivot the palm on the top of your foot so you get your knuckles of your left hand pointing forward. Now, even though your arms are doing 2 different things, can you square your shoulders so that your left shoulder is not actually moving back closer towards your left hip, compressing that left side of your spine? Notice the breath. Notice the heat that this breathing has been creating. 1 more inhale in. Exhale, return to Sphinx pose. Now press the top of the feet into the floor so that you feel your legs are strong. Now, right where your elbows are, put your palms there. Press into the palm, inhale, lift the shoulder up above your wrist bones. Exhale, press back to your downward dog. Inhale, come back forward into plank. Keeping neutral pelvis, exhale, slowly lower to the floor. Dhanurasana. Dhanura means a bow. So you're going to bend both knees. Both hands reach back for this time the outer edge of the ankles. And you bring your big toes back together. So symmetrically, we know what the bottom part of the body, or we feel what the bottom part of the body is doing the same thing. Now inhale, start to press the feet into the grip of the hands. The arms will resist the strength of the legs, and the contributing strength of your legs and arms are lifting the front body off of your mat in the process. For 5, making your legs burn. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Release. Press the feet to the floor behind you. That's your foundation. Reset your neutral pelvis. Lift the belly button up and towards the body. Plant the palms. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding back. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lowering down with control. So we're going to do Parsva, which means side, Dhanurasana, which we just did. So bend your knees, bind your ankles again. Inhale, lift up into your bow pose. And exhale, rotate over onto your right shoulder and your right hip. Same action of symmetrically pressing the feet into the hands and the arms symmetrically resisting the grip of your legs. We're already at 3. And 2. And 1. Use your next inhale to roll to the belly, and exhale, get onto the other side for 5. 4. Remember those longer, better breaths. 3. 2. 1. Third set, back to the belly. Rotate back for 5. 4. You got it. Make those legs work. 3, because it'll be over before you know it. 2. 1. Exhale, release. Create the foundation first. The feet, neutral pelvis, then the hands, then the inhale takes your flow, and this flow will stop when you get to your down dog. Downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take an inhale and exhale, lower onto your knees. Inhale, stand up on your knees. I'm going to do one set of Ushtrasana, your camel pose. Now we're going to bring both hands to the heels at the same time. So what you want to do is bend at the knee, lean your upper body back so the hands can come to the heels. Then you're going to press your thighs forward. You do lift the chest, but those ribs that are just above your stomach, use your six pack and pull those front ribs down towards your front ribs, your front hip bones. So that if the front ribs and front hip bones are coming closer towards each other, that means those same ribs at the back that normally jam up together are creating space. Now to come out, you release the feet at the same time. Inhale, you come up, you put your hands down, you step back to your plank pose, and you know what to do from there. Now, downward dog, bend your knees, inhale, jump to a squat position, and here is where your second set of Bakasana Crow can be put in. Challenge yourself and jump out with a vinyasa. Hold it what's appropriate for you, 1 breath, 5 breaths, 10 breaths. Not much longer than 10. Maybe press up to a handstand, then jump out. Why not? After your flow, jump through to a seated position. We're going to do a twist now. So you're going to take your left leg, like we've done already, into Virasana. So you're going to point your left toes to the wall behind you, put the top of the foot on the floor. Now your right foot, you're either going to bring your right heel to your right groin, or if your knee can stay on the ground, your right foot into half lotus. Your right hand is going to reach around the back for the right foot. Maybe it can grab the right foot, and maybe not. You're going to reach for it. That means your available left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. And your two arms would turn your upper body so that your right armpit is turning to the wall behind you. Your chin has moved over top of your right shoulder. And each inhale, you're sitting up even taller. And it's those exhales which just might deepen your twist. Taking another 3. And 2. And 1. And we do a flow in between these two sides. So just inhale, bring the hands on the floor at front of you, and jump out of this position into your plank pose. You got it. Move on through. Return to seated position. And then we got to take the right leg in first to put the top of the right foot down, and then point your left knee over to the left side. Take your left hand around the back for the left foot, your other left hand, then take your available right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, gazing back. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, put the hands on the floor in front of you. Step, jump out, take a flow. After this flow, you jump through to seated, and you're going to lie down on your back. Then you're going to bend both knees, put your feet on the floor, Heels within reaching distance of the tip of the middle finger. They don't need to come any closer than that because then they are too close to the sit bones, which makes it hard to lift up. Now the feet, you want to open them to the width of like your downward dog, and it's better to have a little bit of extra space than too little of space. Now here, in this position, where is that neutral pelvis? When you lower the belly button down and then move the tailbone towards the heels, that is the action, but don't overdo it so the entire lower back comes in contact with the floor. That would be losing the natural curve of your spine. So keep that little curve, press into the feet, and then inhale, lift the frontal hip bones up to the height of your knees, and then wiggle your arms underneath the back like we did in the standing sequence. And you literally wiggle the arms under the rib cage, so you're literally on the backs of the arms, the backs of the shoulders, and the back of the head, but your neck is not touching the floor. We count down from 5, 4, chest coming closer to the chin with 3, 2, 1. Then as you exhale, you lower down to the floor. Now we're going to do 2 more like that, which you can repeat that exact same variation or Urdhva, upward, Dhanurasana, bow position. So earlier we did belly bow position. Now we're going to do upward bow position. Same action in the feet, 4 corners pressed down. You have the neutral pelvis. Inhale, you lift the hips back up, join the hands underneath, or you lift up onto your head. Stop on the head, and before you try to lift up off the head, draw your elbows in so they line with your wrist and your armpit. Now inhale, lift up off the head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the chin to the chest and exhale, lower all the way down to the back. 1 more like that in 5, 4, 3, creating that foundation. 2, recreating that space in the spine. 1, third set, last set. How long you choose to challenge yourself is up to you. The lift always initiated with an inhale. Keep the feet heavy. Notice how the feet want to turn out. Keep the feet with that inward rotation. Imagine you have a block between your 2 knees. You are squeezing the block versus allowing the knees to float out to the side. Literally, all the talk about the feet and the action, the legs, and the standing sequence specifically apply to this back bend here. As when we don't follow these principles, we can create compression in our spine with these back bends. When you are done, you would roll over to your right side. We come up from the right side, because if we come up from the left side, we have an option of potentially compressing the heart. So always come up from the right side. You can take a flow. From flow, we're going to take Paschimottanasana, the counter pose, which is going to help bring the stimulation down from those back bends. So seated position, legs are straight. You can do it passively, arms under the knees. You can do it actively with straight legs and your hands binding the feet. Either way, it's a slow count of 10. Here's a great place to observe the shifts in energy from stimulation towards calm. So try to lie here so still that you can notice what is energetically happening on the inside of the body. The breathing rate will slow down. Then your heartbeat will start to slow down. The inner environment will start to get quieter. Another 5. Another 4. 3. 2. 1. Next inhale, come up. Take your last vinyasa flow, and then we go upside down for 3 minutes. You can take your mat to the wall to do your Viparani Karani, legs up the wall. Or an appropriate inversion, what is good for you in your practice. Clock begins. When we really want to feel that organic effect, certain positions have to be held for 3 minutes or longer. Talked about a little bit about this last week, in which approximately 3 minutes is one cycle of blood, meaning the blood that's leaving your heart, if it was to take its longest trip possible, which for most of us is to the big toe and back, is about 3 minutes. One cycle of blood kind of ensures that the body doesn't move and it can receive that organic effect. So here, what we're doing is we're triggering the heart by being upside down into a state of relaxation. So when we can get the heart to relax, the heart being the king of all other organs, kind of sends the signal around the body that it can relax, so too you can relax. Try not to turn your head in your shoulder stand. Always stay looking up at the toes. If you're in your shoulder stand, your neck is a very compromised position, and you can injure your neck by turning it to the side to look. We're already halfway done, 90 seconds in, 90 seconds to go. If you're on your shoulder stand, you can lower your toes to the floor behind your head and now move into halasana. That's right, bring the toes all the way down. Try to keep the legs straight, and then bring your arms down onto the floor. And can you interlace your fingers? Remember how we did that in the standing sequence? You got it. Plow pose. Last minute. Feel what the effect of the position is having on you. When we move a lot in vinyasa, it's hard to notice these subtle sensations because we're moving all the time. But when you're sitting still, that is when you can really move deeper into your body. 30 seconds left. Now in plow pose, now relax your legs so your knees will bend, and you'll notice your knees will come closer to your ears. Good. Now, if you're on your shoulders, slowly, with control, exhale, lower down onto your back. And then if you're on your head, with control, you come down into a child's pose. And either stay in child's pose or just lie on your back for about a count of 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inhale, come up and take a cross-legged or a half lotus seated position or a full lotus seated position. One of the three. Now, once you have your legs set, take both arms around the back and either hold the outside of the elbows, unless, of course, you can reach your big toes. And then exhale, you lower your forehead to the floor in front. I'm going to count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, sit up. Put your hands in front of your knees. You make a mudra with your first finger and thumb. You sit up as tall as you can, but your chin does lower halfway down towards the chest. And even though you've lowered the chin, it doesn't mean your head is lowered down. Think of the crown of your head reaching up and the chin lowering slightly down. Now is the time in your practice you can close the eyes. But you stay observing and looking at your closed eyelids. So you are wide awake in a state of awareness, observing how each breath can literally become longer than the breath before it. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One last little effort. So open your eyes. Put your hands on the floor below the shoulders. Inhale, lift up what you can. I count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. All done. Lie down on your back. Unless, of course, you want to do another flow. Take a flow and then take your Shavasana. And we will do at least 6 minutes in Shavasana. 2 rotations of those 3 minutes to try to really dip the body down into that parasympathetic nervous system. So all the deep breathing is done. Simply allow your body to breathe for itself. All the work your muscles just did for you, let them relax. Notice how certain muscles, they can't relax. They just keep holding. So what helps to get all the muscles to relax is start in your face. Relax the jaw, your eyes, all the little creases on your face. Allow the eyes to sink into the back of your skull. Relax your tongue. Notice how when we soften the face, softens the shoulders. Those muscles that like to hold on, sometimes we got to engage them and then purposely relax them. Certain muscles have a hard time taking a break. as they get overworked because other muscles get underworked. inhale, start to come back into your breath. Before you start to move, notice now. Notice your effect on your body you've had with your practice. One of the gifts that we've been given to us. Take this gift with you and share it with others. Roll over to your right side and curl up into the fetal position. Inhale, come all the way back up, cross your legs. And we close up our ritual just like we began it. Bring the hands together. Sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Good work. Thank you for practicing with this at home. We will see you next Saturday. Thank you, Sarah. See you guys.